Bates Middle School had me fucked up, part 2. So I left off where my mom went to Isha again, telling Isha what Nez was doing, and it didn't do nothing but pissed Nez off. So Nez started picking up again. I'm still coming home, telling what she's doing. I'm not really doing nothing anymore. I done stopped my chitter chatter in class. I done did whatever. Because no matter what you do, it was a problem. Basically, it was like if you breathe the wrong way, your ass is grass. Point blank, period. So going to exit the bathroom, she's still doing that. Go ahead. She just going sideways. So this particular day, I was coming late to school. And my mom was having car problems. So I had a late pass. My mom just said she was going to walk me to class because we were testing. And I was telling my mom, oh, she was going to have a problem. Like, she's going to be big mad. Like, I just know she was going to say something. So that when my mom was like, let me get a sticker so that I can walk you to your classroom. So we had to, this particular day, we was not in our regular class. We was in the lab because we had to do testing in the computer lab. And so we switched class with the computer class. So we supposed to go put our book bags in our classroom and then come to the computer. Because that's just how it was supposed to. But my bus never ended up coming, which has caused me to get my mom to take me to school. But my mom was having a car problem. She was just so adamant on not being late. And I was not the only student that was late to class as well. But when it came to me, hell froze over. So I'm coming to give her the slip. I try to give her the slip because I don't knock on the door. I think I knocked on the door like 4 times. And it took her like the 4th time for her to open the door. Because you could hear her talking. She just never came to the door. And so she opened the door and my mom was standing like behind her door. So like, here's the door. Hold on. So here's the door. I'm standing, my thumb is me. My mom is standing right here. So you can't really see my mom until you like come out completely. But like, she's standing right beside me, but she's behind the door. So I said, yes, I'm sorry I'm late because my mom was having car problems, so I wasn't able to come. And she said, why are you late? Because, hold on. Let's backtrack it because that did happen, but let me backtrack it to what, thing. She was like, why are you late? And so that why I was like, my mom is having car problems, but here's the slip. And she didn't look up, she didn't pay attention. She just went again, why are you late? And like, in my head, this shit was pissing me off. In my head, I just wanted to go. I just wanted to start hollering because, first of all, why are you talking to me like that? I'm talking to you calmly. I don't want to be here. I barely don't want to do the test. You're pissing me off. So I had to look at my mom. My mom was like, go ahead and say it again. But she didn't mouth nothing, but her face was like, go ahead and say it again. And I told her again, and she was like, why are you late? She's still looking down. She's not even noticing that my mom is standing like right beside me near the door. So I said it one more time. She said it again, and then when she finally looked up, she saw my mom, and she changed like livid. Like, I ain't never seen that bitch act so nice or nothing. But the way she switched up was crazy. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, she was like, oh, so go put your book bag into the classroom and then come back and we'll get started on your test. Like, what? You could be that nice? Like, ain't no way you just switched. You just switched just like that. So after that, my mom was like, whatever. She was like, go ahead and put your bag. And so I did what was due. I did what was told. I went to go put my bag in the classroom. And then I went back to the computer lab and I started my test. After that, she was so irritated. She was so pissed. Like, she barely even wanted to say nothing to me for the rest of the day. that time during that class period because my mom was right there. And she knew my mom was on to her right in there in her face. And like she knew my mama, she had to know my mama, her how she talked to me. Like the shit was not something so you could hide right there and there. So if I'm not mistaken, my mom went to go talk to Isha about it. And of course, Isha, being the horrible principal that she was, didn't do nothing. So I even went to my guidance counselor, which I'm gonna call her E. That's her. That's EL, cause that's her initials. If you know her first and last name, so EL. So I went to EL office, and EL made it seem like I was the problem. EL was supposed to be my guidance counselor, supposed to help me through my problems, and she's blaming me for the problems that Nez is giving me. She's telling me my mouth is the problem. She's telling me that I need to work on my attitude. And mind you, I never had an attitude with Naz like that once my mom started getting involved in stuff because I can't afford to be like in trouble like that the way I was because everything else was going on. Okay, I never told y'all this, but you have A days and B days. That's what we had. And we have homeroom and first block both of those time, and my homeroom first block was the same each time on A days and B days. But the rest of my classes changed depending on what day I had them. So out of all my other classes, after her was like, all right, I never had no problem with them. So yeah, I ain't had no problem with no teachers. They was cool as hell. And yeah, I did not have a problem out of. She was like the only person I was having a problem out of. So it just started getting chaotic, and so my mom just kept coming and popping up there. I remember this one time, she was being so nasty, and we had a project, and I had my project on my table on my desk, like right in the corner. So with the project being in the corner on my desk where she can see it and she can get the grade, she was not paying attention. And so, like, she was doing that stuff on purpose for me to, like, come at her, say something. Mind you, I think I did have said something with my mouth before, but I got in trouble for it, and I got in trouble at home. And that's when we had that recorder thing listening to what she was saying. I wish I can find it so that I can download the clips and let y'all listen to it for real because the shit was trifling. But anyways, so this was an incident where she was like, where's your project? And I was like, it's right here. And I was pointing at my desk and I was pointing at the project on my desk. And she was like, where's your project? But mind you, okay, so let me backtrack. Y'all got ADHD, so y'all excuse me because I'm trying to tell y'all and the ADHD just doing it. But anyways, backtrack. I'm sitting there. I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at the board. I'm writing the stuff down. Now, I'm sitting facing the door, but I'm not looking out the door. So, somebody nudged me, and it was like, your mom at the door. And I just, I didn't pay no mind. Then nudge. Your mom outside. I ain't paying no mind because, mind you, I didn't know when my mom has popped up, but I never seen her. And so, yeah. So she nudged me like, your mom at the door. And I looked up, and she just, like, made us know, like, be quiet, don't say nothing. So then, back to the incident. So she was like, where's your project? And I was like, right here. And she was like, where's your project? Right here. And then I looked at my mom. Mom was just like, now I wish my mom recorded it, but she didn't. So, and she did. And then so when she looked up, and then she looked, and she had a little huffy puff thing that she do with me. And she did it, and my mom saw that shit. So then it was like, okay. So then I'm running out of time. Stay for part 3.